The concept of the Cobalt Bomb, also known as the Cobalt Bomb, represents a theoretical doomsday weapon capable of eradicating all life on Earth. This device, which takes the already devastating effects of a nuclear bomb to unimaginable extremes, was conceived during the Cold War as a potential tool of mutually assured destruction. While no Cobalt Bomb has ever been built or detonated, the implications of such a weapon are deeply unsettling. This article explores the theoretical workings of the Cobalt Bomb, its devastating effects, and the ethical, environmental, and geopolitical implications of its existence. What is a Cobalt Bomb? A Cobalt Bomb is a type of nuclear weapon designed to maximize long-term radioactive fallout rather than immediate explosive damage. It works by incorporating a Cobalt-59 isotope into the bomb's structure. When the bomb is detonated, the intense neutron radiation produced by the nuclear reaction transforms the Cobalt-59 into Cobalt-60, a highly radioactive isotope. Cobalt-60 emits intense gamma radiation and has a half-life of about 5.27 years, meaning it takes over 5 years for its radioactivity to decrease by half. This prolonged radioactivity makes Cobalt-60 particularly devastating. If dispersed into the atmosphere, Cobalt-60 could contaminate vast areas of the Earth's surface, rendering them uninhabitable for decades. Unlike traditional nuclear weapons, which focus on immediate destruction, the Cobalt Bomb's primary purpose is to create a radioactive wasteland. The fallout would spread globally through atmospheric currents, potentially killing all life forms by exposing them to lethal doses of radiation. The origins of the Cobalt Bomb concept. The Cobalt Bomb was first theorized by Hungarian physicist Leo Szilard, who also played a key role in the development of nuclear fission and the Manhattan Project. In 1950, Szilard suggested that such a weapon could theoretically wipe out all human life on Earth. He described it as a doomsday device that could end civilization. Szillard's idea was not a blueprint for creating the bomb, but rather a warning about the potential for humans to create weapons of such horrifying magnitude. His concept gained traction during the Cold War, a period characterized by intense arms races and paranoia about mutually assured destruction between the United States and the Soviet Union. Although neither superpower is known to have built a Cobalt Bomb, the idea underscored the escalating risks of nuclear proliferation. The mere theoretical existence of such a weapon amplified fears about the devastating potential of nuclear technology. How a Cobalt Bomb worked. The construction of a Cobalt Bomb involves adding a layer of Cobalt-59 to a conventional nuclear weapon. When the bomb is detonated, the nuclear explosion releases neutrons that interact with the Cobalt-59. This neutron bombardment transforms the Cobalt-59 into Cobalt-60, which is then dispersed into the atmosphere as fine radioactive particles. The dispersed Cobalt-60 particles would settle on the Earth's surface, contaminating soil, water, and living organisms. The gamma radiation emitted by Cobalt-60 is extremely lethal, capable of killing humans and animals within days of exposure. The radiation would also cause severe mutations in surviving plants and animals, potentially leading to ecological collapse. The key difference between a Cobalt Bomb and a traditional nuclear weapon lies in its intent. While standard nuclear bombs prioritize explosive power and immediate destruction, the Cobalt Bomb prioritizes long-term environmental devastation. This makes it a uniquely horrifying weapon of mass destruction. The environmental impact of a Cobalt Bomb. The environmental consequences of a Cobalt Bomb detonation would be catastrophic. The radioactive Cobalt-60 particles would be carried by wind currents, contaminating vast areas of the planet. Unlike nuclear bombs, whose effects are often localized, the fallout from a Cobalt Bomb would be global. Water sources, including rivers, lakes, and oceans, would become radioactive, making them unusable for drinking or agriculture. Crops and livestock would be contaminated, leading to widespread food shortages and famine. The Cobalt-60 particles could also enter the food chain, further endangering human and animal life. In addition to direct contamination, the gamma radiation emitted by Cobalt-60 would cause severe genetic mutations in plants and animals. These mutations could result in the extinction of countless species and the collapse of ecosystems. The Earth's biodiversity, already under threat from climate change and habitat destruction, would face an unprecedented crisis. Humanitarian consequences of a Cobalt Bomb. The human cost of a Cobalt Bomb would be immeasurable. The gamma radiation emitted by Cobalt-60 would cause acute radiation sickness in exposed populations, leading to painful deaths within days or weeks. Survivors would face long-term health issues, including cancer, organ damage, and genetic mutations that could be passed on to future generations. In addition to physical suffering, the psychological toll on survivors would be immense. The loss of loved ones, homes, and livelihoods, combined with the fear of ongoing radiation exposure, would lead to widespread trauma. Societies would struggle to function in the face of such devastation, with healthcare healthcare systems, governments, and economies collapsing under the strain. The global nature of the fallout would make it impossible for any country to remain unaffected. Even nations far from the site of the detonation would experience the consequences, whether through radioactive contamination, economic disruption, or mass migration of refugees. Ethical implications of the Cobalt Bomb. The concept of the Cobalt Bomb raises profound ethical questions. Is it ever justifiable to create a weapon with the potential to annihilate all life on Earth? The development and use of such a weapon would violate the principles of humanitarian law, which seek to limit the suffering caused by armed conflict. Critics argue that the mere existence of a Cobalt Bomb would constitute a crime against humanity. Its effects would not be limited to combatants but would indiscriminately kill civilians, including future generations. The environmental damage caused by the bomb would also violate ethical principles of stewardship and responsibility for the planet. The Cobalt Bomb represents the ultimate expression of nihilism in warfare. Its purpose is not to achieve victory, but to ensure mutual destruction. This makes it a symbol of humanity's darkest impulses and a stark reminder of the need for ethical restraint in the development of military technology. Why no Cobalt Bomb has been built? Despite its theoretical potential, no Cobalt Bomb has ever been constructed. There are several reasons for this. First, the weapon's global fallout would make it impossible to use without endangering the nation that deployed it. The principle of mutually assured destruction already ensures that nuclear powers are deterred from using their arsenals. A Cobalt Bomb would only escalate this deterrence to an unthinkable level. Second, the development of a Cobalt Bomb would face significant technical and logistical challenges. Producing and handling large quantities of Cobalt-59 would be expensive and dangerous. Ensuring that the weapon worked as intended would also require extensive testing, which would pose ethical and environmental dilemmas. Finally, international treaties and agreements, such as the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, discourage the development of new types of nuclear weapons. The stigma attached to the Cobalt Bomb's horrific potential has likely contributed to its absence from the arsenals of nuclear powers. Cobalt Bomb versus standard nuclear weapons. The Cobalt Bomb is often compared to standard nuclear weapons, but the two have different purposes and effect. While traditional nuclear bombs prioritize explosive power and immediate destruction, the Cobalt Bomb prioritizes long-term environmental and human devastation. In a traditional nuclear explosion, the majority of the damage is caused by the blast, heat, and initial radiation. Fallout from these bombs is a secondary effect and is often limited to the area surrounding the detonation site. In contrast, the Cobalt Bomb's primary purpose is to create global radioactive fallout. The long half-life of Cobalt-60 makes it particularly dangerous. While most radioactive isotopes from a nuclear explosion decay relatively quickly, Cobalt-60 remains lethal for decades. This ensures that the effects of a Cobalt Bomb would persist long after the initial detonation, making recovery nearly impossible. Geopolitical implications of the Cobalt Bomb. The existence of the Cobalt Bomb concept has significant geopolitical implications. It highlights the potential for nations to develop weapons that prioritize destruction over strategic utility. This raises concerns about the escalation of arms races and the breakdown of international agreements aimed at limiting nuclear proliferation. The Cobalt Bomb also underscores the importance of diplomacy and conflict resolution. The development of such a weapon would increase tensions between nations and reduce the likelihood of peaceful coexistence. The mere possibility of its creation serves as a reminder of the need for strong international frameworks to prevent the development and use of weapons of mass destruction. Additionally, the Cobalt Bomb raises questions about the role of deterrence in international relations. While some argue that the threat of mutually assured destruction prevents conflict, others believe that it perpetuates a cycle of fear and mistrust. The Cobalt Bomb exemplifies the dangers of relying on deterrence as a long-term strategy for maintaining peace. The legacy of the Cobalt Bomb concept. Although the Cobalt Bomb has never been built, its legacy endures as a cautionary tale about the dangers of technological innovation without ethical consideration. The concept forces humanity to confront its capacity for destruction and raises important questions about the limits of scientific progress. The Cobalt Bomb also serves as a reminder of the need for vigilance in the face of emerging threat. As technology continues to advance, the potential for new and more devastating weapons grows. It is essential for nations to work together to ensure that these technologies are used responsibly and for the benefit of humanity. Ultimately, the Cobalt Bomb symbolizes the thin line between progress and annihilation. It is a testament to both the ingenuity and the destructiveness of the human mind, a stark warning about the consequences of unchecked ambition in the pursuit of power. The Cobalt Bomb remains a theoretical weapon, but its implications are deeply unsettling. By prioritizing prioritizing long-term radioactive fallout over immediate destruction. The Cobalt Bomb represents the ultimate weapon of mass destruction. Its potential to end all life on Earth underscores the need for ethical restraint in the development of military technology and the importance of international cooperation in preventing the proliferation of such weapons. As humanity faces an uncertain future, the lessons of the Cobalt Bomb concept serve as a powerful reminder of the consequences of our choices. Will we use our technological advancements to build a better world, or will we allow them to bring about our own destruction? The answer lies in our collective will to act responsibly and prioritize the well-being of future generations.